First day of mini camp, and I think saying it was interesting is a little bit of an understatement. What is up, Finn fans? First day of mini camp is here, and boy, oh boy, I have a lot. I'm not kidding. I have 5 pages of play-by-play information, all that stuff. So I got a lot for you. And then after we do the play-by-play, I'll give you guys my assessment of what happened today. And obviously, you guys already know about Tua and how his day was. I'm going to go play-by-play. And then at the end of the play-by-play, I will tell you my thoughts on what happened with Tua today. Plain and simple. And I'm going to talk about the team in general because it's not always just about Tua. Jeez Louise, people. But before we jump into that, real quick, got to shout out my guys at BackroomCollections. Pop up some of their pictures that they do. It's on canvas. It's very good artwork. They not only do Miami Dolphins, but they also do baseball, basketball, all that good stuff. I'm getting myself that Ricky Williams stiff arm one. Fantastic stuff. Go over, hit them up on their Facebook or on Twitter. Use the promo code DDW. You get yourself 10% off. So let's jump into this. So if you guys watched my late last night video or my early this morning video, depending on when you watched it, I thought, and it was a source said, that Xavian Howard would show up for mandatory minicamps today because he doesn't want to be fined over the next 3 days $93,000. Well, nope, he wasn't there today. And even Brian Flores kind of talked about this before they went out there, and he said, he's not going to be here today. I don't expect him to be here. We'll try to work these things out. And then they asked him about Gesicki and about Emmanuel Ogbah. And he said, essentially, they will try to re-sign these guys. But if they can't, they can't. Not everyone's going to get re-signed. So it's very interesting to hear. But yes, Xavian Howard was not at mandatory minicamp today. And like I said in my video, either this morning or last night, depending on when you watched it, if he didn't show up today, he's a holdout. And it's first day of holdout. He wants a new contract. He's not the number one corner paid on the team or in the NFL, and he feels like he should be with having 10 interceptions last year. If I'm the Dolphins, I'll, maybe give him a new contract. But with that contract, it's just incentive-laced contract. Essentially, you have to be healthy, you have to produce. If you're not healthy or you're not produced, you don't get the money in the contract. That's what I would do. If he doesn't want that type of contract, then I'm sorry, but you either play out the rest of the 4 years because you just signed this new contract, or they'll probably trade him. Coming from a guy who absolutely loves Xavian Howard and see the duo of him and Byron being the best cornerback duo in the NFL, it sucks to say, but it's too much of a gamble to give him a new big fat contract now, and he might not be healthy. He's actually not healthy now. Supposedly he has a quad injury that he's nursing, so we'll see how that pans out. But Emmanuel Ogbah was there today, which is a very good sign of that. Gesicki was there, but he was redshirt. He was wearing a sleeve, so he wasn't doing much, but he was doing some things. Quarterbacks throwing routes to the backs. Couple first-year guys were going back to Tua after getting a reception, going back to Tua and asking him and being coached up by Tua, showing that Tua is getting a command of this playbook, understanding the playbook, thank God, especially if first-year guys are coming to him, asking him for advice and getting, essentially, how'd I do? And Tua is taking that leadership role. Very, very good to see. Then the sky opened up, and it started to pour, and it poured for the whole entire minicamp. There was points where they weren't doing anything. There was like breaks in between sessions where it stopped pouring, and then as soon as they got back on the field, it started to downpour again. So it started to pour. Coleman, the corner we picked up in free agency, picks off Jacoby Brissett on a 7-on-7, and then Tua, here it starts, had 2 interceptions, one to Trill Williams and the other to Jamal Perry. The one to Jamal Perry was tipped by Sam McGuavin and into Jamal Perry's hands. And then after that happened, it started to rain harder. I'm hearing a monsoon. Tua with a deep out for Gesicki. Big chunk play there. Tua to Fuller on a nice slant thrown into traffic. Really good pass there. And then Tua to Devontae Parker on a very deep, beautiful pass. So, he seemed to have made up for those 2 interceptions. But again, if you guys already know, you already know. Then there's team drills. Again, Tua throws 2 interceptions, has a bunch of nice, really good big chunk plays, and then he throws a pick six to Nick Needham, intended for Devontae Parker. It was a very big defensive day today, and you'll hear it not only with Tua throwing picks, but Jacoby Brissett threw picks, and there was a lot of sacks. Very big defensive day, which again, when I'm done with everything, I will talk about that. Then Jacoby Brissett with a nice pass to Jakeem Grant, but it would have been a sack from Christian Wilkins. So if this was live action or a game, it would have not gotten off. It would have been a sack for Christian Wilkins, but other than that, nice pass. Adam Butler with a sack. Tua to Waddle out of the flat. So he throws a nice pass to him out of the flat, and Waddle does his thing, catches it, turns up the field, gets big yards after reception. Tua then picked again to Nate Holley, then finds Waddle and Hollins with 2 very good passes. So he throws an interception, does 2 good passes. Throws an interception, does 2 good passes. It's like the up and down day for Tua. Then Brandon Jones, a tipped pass from Jacoby Brissett, almost intercepted, so it would have been another interception for Jacoby Brissett. Again, very, very big defensive day today. And then Tua to Waddle with a beautiful touch pass. He put that ball over the defender right where it needed to be. He led Waddle, who then in turn got more yardage off of that. Very, very good connection there. Then the rain stopped, like I said. Stopped for a little bit, but the field was completely soaked. So they were tiptoeing, if you know what I mean. They're not really running hard, not running their routes because they don't want to fall, hurt themselves. Jacoby Brissett to Lynn Bowden for about 20 yards, and then Tua to Gesicki. It was through his hands. So Gesicki went to catch it, went through his hands, and then Holland with the interception behind it. Got to catch. I understand. Look, and I'll talk about this when I'm done with all the play-by-plays, but it was pouring. So that's not an excuse, but Gesicki got to catch that ball because it went through your hands and then caused an interception. And on the stat sheet, it's not Gesicki interception, it's Tua interception. Then there was a special team period, so the offense and the defense, got a break. And then Jacoby Brissett comes out with a nice pass to Myles Gaskin out of the backfield, turns it up for a big chunk plays. Myles Gaskin had a big day today and kind of another situation where he's trying to shut up the doubters about that backfield. Then Jacoby Brissett with a nice 20-yard pass to Hunter Long. Jacoby Brissett with another nice pass to Allen Hurns over the middle. Allen Hurns is looking real fast. Then it's Tua's turn. Tua with a nice pass to Durham Smythe, fits that ball right in there. Strobridge with a would-be sack on Tua. Again, a very big defensive day. Tua connects with Waddle on a very good pass there, but then misses on Will Fuller. Then again, we get a little bit of a break. It starts to rain again. Downpour. Emmanuel Ogbah and Jalen Phillips in the backfield on a would-be sack. Again, very big defensive day. Andrew Van Ginkel almost picks off Jacoby Brissett. That would have been 4 or 5 for him as well. Again, defensive day. Not only was the rain causing the wide receivers to struggle and the quarterbacks to struggle, but the rain was also causing these defenders to struggle on catching the interceptions. Tua with a nice pass down the seam to Gaskins. Gaskins turns it up. Big play for him. Again, kind of think of like the Oakland Raiders game where Fitz threw a short pass, like a 5-yard pass to Gaskins, and then he took it up. Same thing. Again, Gaskins is producing. Tua with a deep pass to Devontae Parker, who unfortunately drops it. Told you I got 5 pages of notes. Jacoby Brissett with his second interception to the linebacker Scarlett, which would have been, if not for rainy, drop balls again. So the defense had a dominant day, probably been his 4th or 5th interception. Sanders repeatedly drills kicks right down the center. It's a thing of beauty. Absolutely love to hear it. Then a nice pass, a nice zip on that ball. And that's from Omar Kelly saying nice zip on the ball to Gesicki. Tua scrambles, throws last minute. Wide receiver tipped the ball in the air. Again, it's raining at this point, so we can't really blame the wide receivers for tipping the ball, but you can catch it. You're going to be playing rainy games. I will talk about that afterwards. Noah Igbenogany with the nice pass break up. Then Jerome Baker runs over there, dabs him up, celebrates. Kirk Merritt catches and breaks for a very long touchdown. Love hearing those things. And then Tua to Will Fuller for a huge 25-yard plus gain. Love hearing him take those chances, throw those deep balls. Tua to Gesicki for a 6-yard pass. And then Adam Butler with a would-be sack on Tua. Tua then converts on a 3rd down to Gesicki. Then this I found very interesting. The TNT wall is not there anymore, but Phillips gets a lot of pressure, and they don't say who, but some Dolphin players were on the ground. Phillips gets in trouble and has to start running laps. He needs to learn you can't hit whoever he hit. Now it's Jacoby Brissett's turn on 11 on 11s. All of those pass plays before, like I said, were from Tua. So Jacoby Brissett with a nice pass to Albert Wilson for a 1st down reception. And then they noticed Jalen Phillips is still running. So I don't know who he hit and who was on the ground, but he's still running. Nice sideline pass from Brissett to Hunter Long. Then Sanders comes out and he is short on his field goal, so no points for Brissett. I don't know if I mentioned, but Tua got a field goal out of his drive. So short there. Then Reed Sinnett gets his shot. Sinnett to Foster on a nice rollout. Then Sinnett to Kirk Merritt. They are now down to the 4-yard line. But unfortunately, the ball slips out of his hand when he goes to throw. Again, it is raining bad there. And then the whistle blows on 3rd and goal, and the session is over. And that ends the mandatory mini camp. The Dolphins run their gassers, but Davis and Pankey don't run their gassers. What the heck is a dasser? And Brian Flores gives them the post camp talk or post day talk in the rain. He's out there with them in the rain talking to them, probably saying, defense, you did fantastic. Ton of interceptions, ton of would-be interceptions, ton of would-be sacks. You did fantastic. Offense, you sucked. Do better. Plain and simple. But that is what I got for you from today's mini camp. A lot of ups, a lot of downs. Now, this is going to be comment of the day. But be sure to comment below. I know for a fact you're going to comment below. I know there's going to be some people who are going to say, see, Tua sucks. He's horrible. He threw 5 interceptions. Could have been more if not for drops. Again, it was raining on both offense and defensive side. Lots of drops. And then there's going to be people who say it's only practice, yada, yada, blah, blah, blah. I know there's going to be both ends of the spectrum commenting below. This is where I'm coming from. And I said this on Twitter that I might surprise you or I might not surprise you. But this is where I'm coming from, right? The Tua haters are going to eat this up. They've been waiting for this, right? It's practice. It's the first day of minicamp. The Tuaneers or Tua stands or whatever you want to call them, if it was flipped, if Tua came out and he threw 5 touchdowns and he was slinging the rock and he was throwing nothing but 25-yard bombs and everyone was catching, and it was beautiful and everyone's like, Tua, then the Tua haters would come out and say, it's just practice. Whereas the Tuaneers would try to rub it in everyone's face. So that being said, what is my stance on it is he struggled today, right? Regardless if it was raining, regardless if it's, the offense is new and the offense is installing it and of course the defense is going to be better. It's the same defense. Regardless of any of that, Tua did have a bad day today. There's no getting around that whatsoever. Tua absolutely had a bad day today, threw 5 interceptions. Could have been more if it wasn't raining and if the defense did not drop those picks. Same thing with Jacoby Brissett. Jacoby Brissett threw 2 interceptions. Could have been 5 or 6 from my count, if not for the rain and the dropped interceptions and all that stuff. My thought process on this is, okay, it sucks. Learn from it. Learn from what you did. Get better. Don't do it again. Am I over here thinking that the house is burning down? Am I over here thinking, oh my God, this is my biggest fear where our starting quarterback is horrible? Go get Watson. Go get Rodgers. He threw 5 interceptions in day 1 of mini camp. No, man, it's mini camp. It's the first day of mini camp. So what? And I hear, well, mini camp, what's the difference between mini camp and training camp? There's a big difference. Absolute big difference. Training camp is completely different than mini camp. If he continues in this process, because we've seen it from tons of quarterbacks. There was days where Tannehill was throwing interceptions. There was days where, a ton of these quarterbacks were just having days where they were just turning the ball over. It happens. I'm not going to jump off the bridge. I'm not going to jump off the cliff. I'm not going to lose my mind or say anything about any of this stuff. It's the first day of minicamp. I just find it funny because I'm reading it in the comment section. I'm reading it on Twitter. I'm reading it all over the place that there's a certain section of the fan base that is enjoying this. It's like they're waiting for him to fail so they can say, I told you so. So they can say, I was right. Tua sucks. We should have never drafted him. We should have got Herbert. I was right. Like they're rooting for the team to do bad and they're rooting for the quarterback to do bad just so it proves their agenda right. Me, on the other hand, if he does bad, all right, time to move on. Maybe trade for Watson. Maybe use those 2023 first-round picks to get the quarterback. Time to move on. He's showing that either the hip injury or something's not clicking and he's not there. But if he does do well, I'm ecstatic because we have a great young quarterback for cheap for the next 4 years now. I'm ecstatic. Let's build off this kid. He is showing why we drafted him 5th overall. Either or. They could go out and just trade for Deshaun Watson, right? Say in training camp, Tua continues to struggle. Tua continues to throw interceptions. He's not understanding the playbook. NFL speed's too quick for him. They trade for Deshaun Watson. Cool. We got a top 5 quarterback in here. Let's go win some games. All I care about is winning games. All I care about is getting that 3rd Lombardi trophy. That's all I care about. So, and I find it funny because people on Twitter are like, I'm waiting for Doug to say the excuses. I get called a Tua hater and I get called a Tua near or a Tua stan. People got to pick one or the other. Which one am I? But yeah, Tua struggled today. The whole offense kind of struggled today. But if you notice, today was you didn't hear me say, and then they hand the ball off and yada, yada, or they didn't, none of that stuff happened. It was pass all day and a monsoon downpour. Again, even Tua said, I'll read you a quote from his post-press conference. We're going to have to play in the rain and play in those conditions. Overall, I thought today was an all right day. Again, he did have some ups, but he had a lot of downs. They're going to have to play in the rain, but they're also not going to throw the ball as much as they did in practice today when they're playing in the rain. They're going to hand that ball off a little bit. They're going to play a little bit different, maybe call different plays or stuff. But like I said, overall, today's practice, it was a bad one for the offense. It was a very, very good one for the defense. The thing I'm taking away from this mandatory minicamp, one, Xavian Howard's situation sucks. I like him a lot. I want him to stay because that combination with him and Byron Jones is a very good combination that I want to continue to build on. But I don't know what's going to happen. I will keep you guys updated on that. 2, Brissett and Agba getting in the back. Not Brissett. Phillips and Agba getting in the backfield together and Phillips being dominant. Got in trouble for it. Makes me very happy. You guys know I'm a big defensive guy and I'm a big defensive line guy. So that makes me very, very happy. But taken away from today, Tua struggled. Should not have thrown as many interceptions. Defense did fantastic. Gaskin did really well today. I'm hearing good things about Waddle, good things about Fuller. You're getting good things hearing from it. Let's see how tomorrow goes. Can Tua bounce back? That is the biggest thing. But be sure to comment below. Like I said, I know who's going to say what, and I know who's going to say what. I hope it's different, but I doubt it. Because there's people I interact with in the comment section, and I know who's going to say what. I'm hoping it's different. I'm hoping they're like, yeah, it was the first day of minicamp. We'll see, but I doubt it. But be sure to comment below. I'm very interested in what you guys have to say. I will see you guys tomorrow. That one will probably be out a little bit later, maybe around like 8 o'clock or when the baby goes to sleep. I'll make that video. Today I got to do it as soon as camp was over. So Tomorrow's video might be a little bit later, but be sure to comment below. What do you guys think? Check out patchvibes.com. I'm actually going to have them on the channel, I think, for Friday's video. I'm going to have them on the channel. They're going to talk about what they are, what they do, all that good stuff. So check them out. Use promo code DDW. Get yourself 20% off on their fantastic stuff. Check out Miami Sports Music. Fantastic podcast and YouTube channel. And it's a whole corporation and group that they're building. I'm a part of it. TD's a part of it. Check it out. Other than that, I'll see you guys tomorrow, unless news breaks, but hopefully not, because I have stuff to do with the baby today. I don't know, feed her actually. But other than that, I'll see you guys tomorrow on day 2 of mandatory minicamp. But like usual, stay classy. Effins out.